Today I'm going to be going through a maths test on ratios and rates. So the first question is, express the following ratios in its simplest form, 81 to 27. So here I want you to look at the fact that we can write it as 81 over 27. And then if we simplify it to its simplest form, we're basically going to divide by the highest number that can divide into both 27 and 81, which is 27. So if you divide both by 27, your answer will be 3 to 1. So here we're going to write our answer as 3 to 1. Please remember that you cannot change it around and write it as 1 to 3. The higher number followed by the smaller number, so therefore your answer needs to be in the same form. Okay, the next question is slightly different because we have two different units. So we need to convert them to the same unit. So I'm going to convert centimeters to millimeters by multiplying by 10. So now I have 150 centimeters to millimeters. 150 millimeters to 115 millimeters. So here we're going to have 150 millimeters over 115 millimeters. What you need to take note of is that the millimeters and millimeters cancels out, and you're just going to get left with 150 over 115. Now let's simplify it. So when we simplify, we are going to find that you're going to divide, and you're going to get 30 to 23. So you can use your calculator and put it into the fraction button and just simplify it. Or you could say, what is the highest number that can divide into both? And here you can see that you're going to divide by 5 on this side, and you're going to divide by 5. So basically, you're going to divide this side by 5, and you're going to divide the other side by 5. Okay, and you're going to end up with 30 to 23. Okay, let's go and look at another question. Okay, the next question is based on rate and not ratio this time. So here we have the distance between Johannesburg and Durban is 570 kilometers. The average fuel consumption for a car is 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So the question is, determine the amount of fuel in liters. So here we're looking for liters. So we write out what we have. We have 7.5 liters to 100 kilometers. We are looking for liters. So we want to know how many liters, how far would we travel, 570 kilometers, how much fuel would I need to travel 570 kilometers. So always put your liters under your liters, your kilometers under your kilometers. And here we're going to divide and multiply. So you always follow these steps and you write it out. For a method mark, you're going to say 570 divided by 100 times 7.5. Do not just write answer only. Always show your steps. And you're going to end up with 42.75 liters. Okay, and take note that if you've traveled 100 kilometers with 7.5 liters, and you're going to travel 570 kilometers, your answer needs to be bigger. Okay, because you're traveling further. So if your answer is smaller, no, you've made a mistake. Right, let's go to the next one. And so the next question is, if the current fuel price is 22 Rand 64 per litre, calculate the cost of the trip if 42.75 litres are used. Now, you can automatically see that you're going to say 22 Rand 64 times 42 Rand 75, and you're going to get your answer. But if you don't see that, Remember that this is per litre, so you can also write it out as 1 litre to 22 Rand 64 and 42,75 litres will cost us how much? And you can follow the same rule. You can divide and times. You're always going to divide and times, but remember to put litres under litres, rands under rands. And so here you're going to have 42,75 divided by 1 times 22 Rand 64. And that will give me 967 Rand and 86 cents. Okay, now the next question is the ratio of the areas of two squares is 1 to 4. So here we're going to write 1 to 4. So 1 would represent the smallest square, area of the smallest square. 4 would represent the area of the biggest square. The length of the smallest square is 2 meters. We want to know what is the length of the largest square. So another way you could say, okay, to get from 1 to 2, I have to multiply this side by 2. Therefore, I'm going to multiply this side by 2 as well. And so 4 times 2 would give me 8 meters. Or you could follow the same rule. And if you have 1 to 4, and here you've got 2 meters to so many meters, you do the same thing. You're going to divide and times. And so if you went 2 divided by 1 times 4, you will end up with 8 meters. Same, you get the same answer. Okay, let's look at the next one. The ratio of boys to girls in a class is 5 to 3. If there are 40 students in total, determine how many boys and girls there are in the class. So this is going to be one of those where you share in a ratio. So the first step is to go add, and here we're going to go 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, and then we take our 40 students and we divide by 8, and that will give us 5. Then we take our ratio, we've got 5, 3, and what's important is to distinguish what am I talking about. So here this is boys, starting with boys, so that's B, followed by girls, so that's G. So when you're writing it out, indicates that this is our boys and this is our girls. Okay, that's quite important in a test to indicate which is which. So here you're going to multiply by 5 and you're going to multiply by 5. So we're basically using this answer here and we're multiplying by 5, multiplying by 5. And so you're going to end up with 25 boys and 15 girls. And if you add these together, you're going to get back to 40. Okay, let's look at another question. Question 5, it says the manager has a ratio of 2 senior managers to 5 junior managers to 8 employees. If there are 90 people in total, so it's exactly the same as the previous one. We are sharing. So here we're going to go 2 plus 5 plus 8. And that would give me 15. So here we have 15 array. We're going to take our 90 people and divide that by 15. So when we divide that by 15, we're going to get, we've got our 90 divided by 15, and we get 6, right? So we're going to take our, I'm going to put SM for senior managers, okay, and then junior managers, and then our employees. I'm just putting ME there. So senior managers, it's 2, 5, and 8. So we're going to multiply by 6, multiply by 6, and multiply by 6. And that will give me 12, 30, and 48. And what you need to remember is if you add 48 plus 30 plus 12, you should get back to 90. So now we know we have 12 senior managers, 30 junior managers, and 48 employees. Okay, let's go look at another question. The next question, it says, a farmer has 2 fields in a ratio of 3 to 7 in terms of land area. If the total land is 250 hectares, find the size of each field. Now this is exactly the same. So here you're just going to go 3 plus 7 equals 10. And we're going to have 250 hectares divided by 10, which will give me 25 hectares. Okay. Then we're going to take our ratio again and say 3 and 7 times 25 times 25. And here we're going to end up with our 3 times 25, which is your 75. And then we're going to have our 7 times 25, which gives us 175. So this is going to be 75 hectares and 175 hectares. If you add these two together, you should get back to 250. And that does give you 250. Okay, the next question, it says the price of the product increases from 120 to 150. Find the increase. So if I'm looking at the increase, I'm basically going 150 subtract 120, and that gives me 30 rand. So it says express the increase as a ratio in its simplest form. So the increase here, it's increase by 30 rand. So basically 30 to 120. And so if I had 30 rand over 120 rand, the rands and rands will cancel out, and I'm left with 30 goes into 30. So basically divide by 30, divide by 30. And so I'm going to have 1, 2, and this is 30 here. And 3 goes into 12 4 times. So basically my answer is going to be 1, 2, 4. Okay, this is the last question. The question is on exchange rates. Here it says the exchange rate is $1. So $1 to 18 rand 75. If I want to convert $150 into South African rands, so basically this is 150 euros to how many rands? So here we're going to go divide again and times. Right, so I'm going to go 150 divided by 1 times 18,75. Okay, and that would give me how many rands? Let's check. So 150 divided by 1 times 18.75. And you get 2,812 rand, and your calculator says comma 5. Make sure to put a 0 and make it 50 cents. Okay, let's look at the next question. It says convert 500 rand into dollars. So here we're going to say $1 to 18 rand 75. But now we are looking for 500 rand. We're given 500 rand, and we want to know how many dollars would that be. So we're going to divide. Remember to put rands under rands, dollars under dollars, and divide. So here we will have 500 divided by 18,75 times 1. You don't have to do the times 1 because you know it's going to give you the same answer. So 500 divided by 18.75. And that will give you 26 rand. So basically it's 26 comma, so it's 26,6 recurring. Okay, so just remember that when you're rounding it to 2 decimal places. So you're going to look at your third digit, and that 6 is going to round it up. So your answer is going to be 67 cents. Okay, let's look at the next one. A traveler has 400 euros and wants to convert it into South African rands. How much will they receive? So let's look at the euro. 1 euro is 20 rand 60. So 1 euro is 20 rand and 60 cents. We want to know what's 400 euros. So under euros, we're going to have 400 euros to how many rands? So we're going to apply the same rule. We're going to divide and times. So here we will have 400 divided by 1 times 20 rand 60. Okay, let's see. 400 times 20 rand 60. And you end up with 8,240 rand. Okay, let's look at the next one. A South African tourist has 3,750 and needs to convert it to euros. How many euros will he get? So we use the same currency, the same rate, 1 euro to 20 rand 60. And we're going to have 400, not 400 this time. We are going to have 3,750 rand, and we want to know how many euros will I have. So you're going to divide and times. So 3,750 divided by 20 rand 60 times 1. Okay, let's see. 3,750 divided by 20 rand 60. And we end up with 100 and, let's just erase that. We end up with 182,04 euros. So here we have 182,038, and that 8 changes that to a 4. I hope you found this video useful. Please like and subscribe and follow me on my